Hi everybody, I'm Jared Pike. This is Shell Point Today for Thursday, May 23rd. On today's program, we show you Shell Point like you've never seen it before. From the tops of tall buildings to the miniature world of the model train room, even looking at the koi pond from the fish's point of view. Television is all about taking you places you wouldn't ordinarily go. And thanks to modern technology, we've been able to show you Shell Point in ways that we've never been able to before. We've got a whole program full of these unique and amazing views of Shell Point, and it's coming up in just a few minutes. But first, let's quickly run through the happenings and menus, and then we'll be back with big shots from tiny cameras.
Hello and welcome to the Happenings segment of Shell Point TV. I'm Bev Chandley, and I'm going to go over the activities for you here at Shell Point today. We're going to start out this morning with a Health Connections class at 7:15. Bend, Breathe, and Balance will be down in the Health Club. 8 o'clock, the men will be out at the golf club for the Men's Golf Association round. 8 o'clock, we have round-robin men's doubles tennis at the Woodlands tennis courts. 8:30 is the time to meet down at the kayak storage facility where the paddlers will be going out for their weekly trip. Then we move to 9:15, where shuffleboard will be played down at the shuffleboard courts. At 9:30, the current events group will be in the game room of the Woodlands. And then 9:30, the ladies match play tennis will be down at the Woodlands tennis courts. If you want to learn line dancing at 9:45, it's Introduction to Beginning Line Dancing. They meet down in the Health Club. And then we move to 10:15 for more line dancing. This time it's basic line dancing, also in the Health Club. 10:15, we have a Health Connections class, hearing aids, in the community room of King's Crown. Sign up is required for that. And at 11:15, we round out the morning with advanced line dancing down in the Health Club. Continuing with the afternoon activities, 1:15 is the time for Mahjong to be played at the Library Lounge. And at 2:45, we have a Health Connections class, Balance and Mobility Training, Level 2 in the Health Club. That's currently full. 4 o'clock, the seamstress will be here for her weekly service in the Osprey Room. At 4:30, the Alcoholics Anonymous meeting will be in the Sable Room of the Woodlands. A couple of 7 o'clock activities, we have Pinnacle in the Library Lounge. And then also at 7, we have the Trailblazers Bible Study in the Game Room of the Woodlands. Thank you for joining me today. We'll see you back here Friday for the weekend edition.
Hi, I'm Terry Koleth with your Academy information for Thursday. At 1 o'clock, the e-reader Apple iPad class continues in the Oak Room of the Woodlands. I'd like to take a moment to tell you about the Pavilion Auxiliary volunteer opportunities. Tomorrow morning, we have our orientation, which is the first step in volunteering with this wonderful organization, the Auxiliary. We have so many committees in the building of the Larson Pavilion on a regular basis, making life so much nicer for our friends and neighbors who live there. Won't you consider joining them?
Menus for Thursday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is beef stroganoff with egg noodles and roast beets. The dinner special is the Crystal Carving Board for $10.95, and the soup of the day is broccoli cheddar bacon. In the Island Cafe for lunch, enjoy a chicken tender sandwich with chips for $6.95. For dinner, it's Thai night for $7.95. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill are New York Strip for $19.95 or Snapper for $15.95. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Welcome to this special edition of Shell Point Today. On the program, we're going behind the scenes of Shell Point TV and looking into the future of moving images in the 21st century. But first, a quick history lesson. In the early days of television, cameras were really gigantic monstrosities, more mechanical than technological. And this held true right up until the turn of the century. In fact, our first camera here at Shell Point TV is pretty sizable. It has all this paraphernalia attached to it. But as technology improved, cameras got smaller and cheaper. We started shooting with cameras like this one. And even small cameras like this one produced a better picture than those big ones. Cameras got really small when they began shooting video onto these little digital cards. And then we have the ultimate in miniature cameras, the GoPro. You see it? Here, let me show it to you. This has revolutionized television in the 21st century. We could put this camera anywhere. We could put it on a model train. We could strap it to a motorcyclist's helmet. We can even follow activity underwater. Here is a compilation of all the unique and creative ways we have used the GoPro here on ShellPoint TV.
Oh man, so much work.
That's pretty amazing stuff. And every frame of it was filmed with a tiny camera just like this one. It would have been monumentally difficult just a few years ago, but now the technology is available to everyone. And that's what our show is about today. It's about how tiny cameras are bringing the big world of ShellPoint to life. Now, at first glance, you may think, well, these cameras are only good for race car drivers or go-fast boats or motorcyclists. But here at ShellPoint TV, we've been able to portray the beauty of nature, both above and below the water. One of the handy features of these cameras is the time lapse. We can put a camera in one location and film a whole day's worth of activity, and then compress it into just a few seconds. We use this technique at Christmas time to show the activity and vibrancy of a day in the life at Shell Point. You may have noticed the Shell Point TV studio in that last montage, and that's another helpful aspect of these little cameras. We take them with us to document our own productions. This was especially true during the filming of the Flowers and Fountains project, where we attached the camera onto a golf cart and squeezed the golf cart into some pretty tight spaces at Shell Point. So, let's peek behind the curtains as we film ourselves filming Shell Point. Of course, not everything happens perfectly all the time. Sometimes the darn things just won't stay where you want them to. Fortunately for you, we captured those embarrassing moments on camera as well. Despite their small size, these cameras have opened up a whole new world of possibilities for filmmakers. No matter how big or small the event or where it's taking place, you can now see these events from a whole new perspective. Here's a montage of how these tiny cameras are bringing the big world of Shell Point to life. secret. All right, go. Get out of here. Go sing. Television has come a long way, and we at ShellPoint TV are honored to be on the cutting edge of technology, bringing the best pictures possible to your home each and every day. So on behalf of all of us here at ShellPoint TV, oh, the GoPro. I forgot to turn off the GoPro. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Let me just get it here.